Hi everybody, Steve Dolinsky here in Copenhagen, Denmark this week, and I want to talk about one of the most important food items to try when you are in Copenhagen. Now, you're surrounded by the water here, so seafood is obviously an important part of the diet. One of the most important dishes is something called smørrebrød, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but smørrebrød is found throughout Copenhagen. We've had it at a couple of different restaurants here, some classic old places from the 1870s to more modern options like here at a food market in the city. It's typically bread at the base, and it's either a really dark seeded bread or kind of a sourdough country grain bread, topped with a smear of butter to protect that bread from the sauces that are going to be applied on top of it, and then any number of toppings from potatoes and liver to cooked fish. Two of my favorites were a salmon salad embedded with lots of red onion, topped with some gravlax or cured salmon, and then some roe and a little bit of a green garnish. Another great one on the lighter bread is a shrimp salad. They've got all kinds of shrimps here in different versions. There's a shrimp salad. They typically are Icelandic shrimp. They're really thin and slender. I'd seen these in Sweden as well, but they're dressed with mayo and then just a ton of dill to give it this perfume, this wonderful aroma. Just a fantastic lunch. These typically range from about $10 to $14 each, but again, when you're in Copenhagen, make sure you try some smørrebrød. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about our guest today is because she is from Chicago, a native of the south side, the little village neighborhood. Rosio Sanchez has built a little bit of an empire here in Copenhagen. She began as a pastry chef at Noma, and she went on to open her own place, Sanchez, and now she's got satellites all over the city doing taquerias, homemade tortillas, beautiful tacos, very much in the Mexican style, but really unique and rare here in Copenhagen.
I started cooking in pastry kitchens, and little by little I started to get interested in fine dining. I was offered a job at Noma out of the blue, which was kind of great. I accepted the job and worked my way up to be pastry chef there, and also worked in the R&D department. After a few years of living in Copenhagen, I really started to miss Mexican food, and I remember thinking every time there was always a period in the year where I would say, I can't wait to go back to Chicago and have some tacos. And there have been many years that I wanted to get back into Mexican food and maybe put some more attention, the same attention that I was giving to fine dining, but maybe more to Mexican food. So we've always been importing masa from Mexico, and we import that from Mérida and also Oaxaca. We bring the corn and we nixtamalize hundreds of kilos a week. So we make a mole poblano and use all the leftover hibiscus flowers from the hibiscus iced tea. We use the spent hibiscus flowers, which are still very tasty, and we clean them, cook them down with onions and mushrooms, and then make this amazing vegetarian taco. So it's a steamed cabbage leaf that we fill with rajas. So it's leeks, onions, poblano peppers, and a little bit of peas and pea shoots. It's the first year that we actually get poblanos. So they're coming from Holland with chile relleno. So we do salted cod, pollock, and a little bit of tuna with a sofrito. A little bit of habanero mayo that we use, and on the top is a chile de árbol and guajillo salsa. I always think about that little girl in Chicago and all the great food she had growing up without ever really appreciating it when you were there. So I think it's really great to try to use that nostalgia as inspiration, and how to do that with also my years of experience in the hospitality, of course. It's very important to me that when we're making something, it still has this like casual, homey feel. It's not going to be super authentic, but authentic to Copenhagen. I always want to go back to El Farro. That's in Little Village, like a Mexican diner. Very casual, very easy, but I think I just have a lot of memories of being there as a teenager with my best friend. Nice tortas and a nice salsa.
But if you are craving some Mexican food after all that smørrebrød and aquavit and schnapps, maybe you should give Sanchez a try. She's got the tasting menu at Sanchez, the 5-course tasting, and then of course the taquerias scattered throughout the city. That's the latest here from Copenhagen. I'm Steve Dolinsky. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.